The Olympic Peninsula is home to several rivers, and they each have their own unique traits. Now, we came out into this area having never fished the Olympic Peninsula before, and it is a gorgeous region. But in this beauty, there's also some dangers. And we took every precaution possible because it was a river we had never fished before and followed our guide Justin Tensler down the river. Now, what we're going to do here on this week's Mondo Pad segment is we're going to break down how to properly go through a rock garden. Now, this stretch right here is very, very sketchy, a lot of big rocks, and if you don't position your boat properly, you're going to put your boat sideways on one of those rocks and potentially put you and your crew in danger. So let's go ahead and start breaking this down and show exactly what paths we each took and why. When drifting a new river, you want to take every precaution to keep safety in the forefront of your mind. Now, if you don't have a guide like we do today with Justin Tensler, you want to stop before entering any rapid and investigate what you're coming into. And in this spot right here, you can see there's an ideal place to pull our boat over and drop the anchor and walk along this bank to see every single large rock that's in the rapid and determine exactly what path is going to be ideal for us to take to make sure that we float through the rapid safely. So let's talk about what path each boater is going to take here. Justin's already set up right here, getting ready to enter the rapid. I'm following close behind, so that way I can keep an eye on him and see exactly what path he takes so we can keep both parties safe. Now, Justin's squaring up his boat to come right along this edge and follow along this side of these rocks because it's a nice open clear path. Once he gets to this open water, he's going to square his boat up, turn, and keep following down this inside path and into open water. Justin is just now finishing up traversing the rapids here, and I'm starting to square my boat up. I paid really close attention to how he was set up going into the rapids, but possibly is a little bit too close of attention because I had my boat positioning off as I entered the rapids. Now what that did is it put me off center coming into this first rock, and instead of pushing forward on my oars, I ended up pulling back, and that put me in a bad position going into these next two rocks, and I went straight over top of that submerged boulder. Now fortunately, my Pavati ride's high enough in the water, I was able to just push forward on the oars and make it barely over the top of that rock. Now what that did do was offset me going into the rest of the rapids. So I had to pull back hard on the oars, pull into this soft water over here, and take a different path than what Justin had taken down towards this set of rocks, out the softer, easier way. I ended up having to pull back into this softer water and then maneuver the boat quickly, throw my stern to the other direction, pull back around, and then start pushing forward around these big boulders. So although Justin and I took completely different paths, we both made it safely through the rapids. Now, with a little bit more experience, obviously a lot more time on the water, I would get a lot better at traversing these rapids with ease and obviously safer too. But considering that we had Justin along with us, that helped out a lot, and we were able to make it through this very difficult rock garden with relative ease. When you're out learning a new river, or even just a new stretch of river, keep these safety tips in mind. Stop over, pull along the bank, and take a look at the rapid. Determine what boulders or rocks are going to be your problems. Figure out the best path to take, and make it through these rapids safely. You keep those safety tips in mind, and I guarantee you'll have a better trip out there on the water and hopefully get into a few more fish.